What? And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner! Who gives a shit about where the ball's been?
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I love it because it tells you how the game was played.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team.
Those things that are absolutely insane.
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
that's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
Welcome to the weekly recap from We Are Soccer. I am Craig Hearn, your host for the night. We're talking soccer from around the globe. Oh my word, Liverpool, what a fantastic week they have had. Dominating Man City at home today, dominating Real Madrid from the Champions League during midweek. Are you kidding me right now, Liverpool? Are you kidding me? Bringing a new manager, definitely continued and is doing even better. Are you kidding me right now? Arne Slot blowing expectations out of the water. I did not see this coming. We're going to talk about that because Liverpool are running away with the EPL. They're top of the Champions League. Is there anything they can't do right now? Where could their downfall come? We've got a couple of thoughts on that coming up. What else happened today? Well, Aston Villa visited Chelsea, and that didn't go so well. Kind of as I expected, to be honest. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We're talking about Arsenal yesterday. West Ham could not even put up a fight. First half was absolutely phenomenal. Second half, boring draw. Pretty much bleh. But 5-2 Arsenal, they looked like they were in rare form. Nice test for them coming up this week. Also, Manchester United, 4 goals past Everton today. They look like they've hit a good stride. They're doing well. Nate is happy. He's happy because finally his United is back. We're also talking Der Klassiker. Now, if you ask me what Der Klassiker is, I'm going to punch you. You should know what Der Klassiker is. It's the El Clasico in Germany. It's Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern Munich. That was a good game yesterday. Draw 1-1. Some sad news coming out of Italy. Fiorentina's Edoardo Bove is in a coma after collapsing on the field. We got a couple of some news on that. A lot of other things coming up, right? Don't forget about Aston Villa versus Juventus that happened this week. We'll talk about that for a little bit. England USA happened. My word, are you kidding me? The amount of soccer we've had to keep up with this week. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right. not just me here in the studio. We've got our good friend Nate and Brooks. Nate, how are you, buddy? Doing all right?
Well, I got a bunch of public services announcements that I didn't plan to tell you about and just spring it on you right on live air.
Oh, God, here we go. All right, have at it.
So, yesterday, we had some new viewers. Or not yesterday, but last week we had some
Last week we had some new viewers.
Yeah, some new
Yeah.
viewers. And I might have had some coarse language last week.
We all had a little bit of language.
Oh, I'm not. So, it was typical Nate. But here's the problem.
Yeah, it was.
The very next day,
Yeah.
a kid, one of the kids I used to not coach, but knew me.
Young fella?
Young fella.
Yeah.
Coach Nate, I heard you using bad language the other night. And I felt bad. Because he was like, why? Why would you swear? And I told him why.
Because you're passionate. You're into it.
Nope. I said the truth. Something that someone told me long ago. If you don't have something smart to say, use a swear word. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So,
All right.
I'm not doing it anymore.
So you're going to... No more swearing?
None.
Yeah. Well, I'll get you fired up. Fired up.
I'm not saying I won't get fired up. I'm just saying I won't swear.
All right.
I'm doing it for him.
I like it.
I felt
love
bad.
It. All right.
Felt bad.
Good for you, man.
When you feel bad about something, you need to fix it. How was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was all right.
How many turkeys did you cook?
None. I don't cook. I don't do the cooking.
I did 2 in a
I
prime
do all
rib.
the cleaning up. I did the cooking. I do the cleaning up. You cooked how many? What?
Two.
Two?
In a prime rib. 2.
Wow.
Prime rib. Smoked and fried.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brooks,
Yeah,
Brooks and his mom's coming over next Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're like meatalicious, like meat bag.
Yeah.
That's what we should call you. Meat bag.
No, you can call me Meatalicious, please. Please.
Yeah, the food you posted that we saw pictures of looked absolutely delicious.
I went small. Only 2 turkeys, 1 prime rib, and 8 sides. And everyone's like, what? And I go, normally I'm like 4 or 5 meats deep.
That could be taken in several ways.
And you know what?
I'm not going to
Take
do
it
that.
the way you want it.
Family show.
Yeah.
Well, you had a good Thanksgiving from what I could see, man. That's some time off. And,
I do it.
did a little 4v4 tournament on the Jags 4v4 tournament. You were coaching.
We lost.
Lost in a final.
Last game.
Lost in a final.
But I accomplished my main goal.
Which was?
I, in the gym, realized while working out how inspiring the lyrics to Katy Perry's Firework is.
Oh, good Lord.
And every pregame speech was basically me reading the lyrics to Katy Perry's Firework.
Nate, I'm going to cut you off. My first question is...
And I was yelling that, too, on the side.
You're in the gym, working out, pumping iron.
Yep.
You put up some good weight. What's the numbers? I don't know.
Well, I can bench 275 7 times.
So you're benching 275 around 7 times.
Yeah.
Listening to Katy Perry.
Yep. Yeah, you heard that right. You absolutely heard that right.
Okay.
There was no stuttering in between that. 275, Katy Perry all day long.
Katy Perry's what does it for you. Gotcha.
Just for a reference, like 0.01%, 0.001% of the world's population can actually bench 225, and I'm 50 pounds over that.
Strange, because that's actually the same percentage that listen to Katy Perry.
Hey, Firework's a good song, man. I will live and die on that hill.
I'm going to agree. It's a good song.
But it's funny, because the girls at first were like, what are you...
We've heard this
Wait a minute.
before.
Oh, my God. He's singing Katy Perry. It was awesome. It was lit.
That'll get them fired up.
It was lit.
Yeah, and you got them all the way to the finals where, unfortunately, it wasn't.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to play a certain way, and I refuse to. We go.
The Jags put on a really nice 4v4 tournament on Friday.
Yeah.
Another one coming up, day after Christmas, 2 days after Christmas, something like that.
Yeah.
Another 4v4 tournament.
Ridiculous
Chance
amount
to
of-
play
There's also-
soccer for the kids.
I guess West Bloomfield is doing a 7v7 one, which is going to be neat and unique. I think
There's
it's
also-
happening all in one day or something.
Yeah, there's an adult one happening at Novi East as well. I'm out. No, listen, the day after Christmas. Yeah, no, I'm.
Day after Christmas? No
day
one's
after
doing
Christmas.
anything day after Christmas.
I'm
You're
sitting my
full-
butt on the couch, drinking, watching fucking football. Excuse me, watching football. I meant to say football, soccer.
You can swear all you want. I'm the one who swore it off.
Keep it down. Brooks, you're sitting nice and quiet over there. How are you, buddy? You good?
Brooks, do we have any messages from our New Jersey friend?
No, not yet.
Dang.
He lives in Charlotte.
Whatever. Close enough.
Come on now. No, but no, I'm talking to Pablo though. He's dog sitting. He's not cooking anything. Nothing for you to see, he says. But yeah, Pablo says I can bench 276 8 times. listening to Hot Stepper by any, well, I don't know what it is, and he goes JK.
Oh, I mean, no. Hot Stepper's also a respectable song to bench press to.
There
Here
you
comes
go.
the hot step. Yeah, Ani Kamosi.
Yeah.
It's on my shower playlist.
Sometimes,
shower
I work
playlist?
out. Sometimes I get.
It's about 160 songs.
You listen to
Shuffle.
music when you shower.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You do?
Like,
That's
I have a
weird.
shower where I can sing the top of my lungs and nobody in the rest of the house can hear me.
Oh.
Nate's dying
Is
to
this
say
not
something
in
here.
your? Is this not in your own room?
No, I have a bathroom's master ensuite, and the shower is on the one side of the house, but everybody else, minus my wife, right?
You have-
The kids are on the other side of that. Bedroom's on the other side, but I can sing the top of my lungs. They can't hear me.
You have a noise canceling shower?
Pretty much.
That's weird.
It's beautiful.
That's
like
weird.
I go home at
That's
midnight. I go home at midnight after a game and put on Shuffle, the shower playlist, and whoo-wee, I go to town. Let's put it that way. Nate, yeah, sorry. You were going to
I was going to say, like, any song that gets you pumped is a good one.
I agree.
And, like, my idea of getting pumped is sometimes I get so emotional and sad and angry before I start working out that I actually physically start crying.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, not to get away from that, but all right. There was I put it in the group
never
a couple
cried
of
at the
weeks
gym?
ago. No, I don't go to the gym. One, don't cry at the gym. Two, I put it in the group message question the other week. What is your song that you and your team are entering the field to? What is your jam? What is
Oh.
it? Like
I think
we had
I
some
said
good ones.
Firework by Katy Perry.
Did you?
I don't think I have one when I put.
What? All right, mine is "Welcome to the Jungle" by Guns N' Roses.
Of course, yours
Oh
is
yeah, man! What a song to enter the field, and the other team's like, "Oh no, oh man, that's a great song." That's it. That'll do it for me.
No.
No? Are you kidding?
Have you ever heard traditional Viking war drums?
You mean like the clap that they do at the
No.
no, then no.
Actually, I'm so you know
I know.
I hate the clap.
I know.
It's not what I'm talking
Should we do
about.
the clap now, Nate?
Do
Should we-
not know.
See, I'm gonna get you to swear.
That's cultural appropriation. No, like actual what they used to play before, like they raided, like the English, your people.
Our people. That's
It's actually some really scary stuff.
wow.
It's like horns blowing and like chanting and like that's what I'd come out to.
I'd look it up, but I will
good.
probably forget after we do this.
Viking war drums.
Viking war drums.
Yeah.
All right. All right, boys.
What?
What are you playing?
Yeah, what,
I'm
come
not playing. I'm messaging.
No. What are you
what's your
playing?
walkout
Yeah.
song?
Oh, sorry.
You got to come up with something.
Oh,
What's the song you and your team are coming out of the tunnel to?
Yeah.
Oh.
Fired up.
Oh,
Yeah.
like-
it's called. Hold on, let me look on my.
You know he's going to tell us something we've never heard of.
Oh,
These
probably.
young kids and they're
They got to get the
Used.
people going. It's probably a TikTok song.
oh yeah, so it lasts like 7 seconds.
It's called Our World by Campfire. It's a good one.
I have no idea what
I
that
have no
is.
idea. Someone
good
look
one.
that up and tell us if it's any good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to know what
Give
everybody.
it our milkshake. There you go.
Milkshake?
Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
Brings all the boys to the yard.
I
Or the
got
girls.
no words. I got no words, Brooks. That's a
That's
good
sending
one.
an opposite signal of what you want there, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
I would like to know what some of the listeners are. What are you guys pulling out? What's that song? What's the walkout song that your team's
Victor
coming out of the tunnel?
says Thunderstruck by AC/DC.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
No? Nate's shaking his head. No. Yeah, that's a good song, man.
I want the opponent confused and also frightened at the same time. Like, what?
All right. Well, what about this? You want confusion?
Yeah.
I mean, milkshake's a little bit of a confusion.
Yeah, but that's not frightening. Actually, I'm just looking at you going,
It's more welcoming.
I mean, have you ever heard of the band Electric Six? They
yes.
sing the song "Welcome to the Gay Bar." Won't you take me to the gay bar, gay bar? I literally said that's the entire lyric and song and how it goes. It's like a minute and a half of that. That might confuse your opponents.
Maybe.
Or get them very excited and wanting to play. I don't know.
Hopefully both.
Hopefully both.
On to the soccer.
On to the soccer. On to the soccer. All right, before we jump into the soccer, and we are going to talk about soccer, trust me, that Man City Liverpool game was a pretty good one
I
today.
watched that.
Did you?
I hate both teams.
I do too, but
I
it was,
watched it.
Game of the week. That was game of the week, by the way. So, but I do want to say a big thank you to our partner, Soccer World, soccerworld.net for all your soccer gear needs. Big thank you to Next Level Training. If you're looking for extra training for your youth player, visit Next Level Training. Some of the best trainers around. Big thank you to Michigan Jags, as you heard us say. They put put on 4-on-4v4 tournaments occasionally. We were talking about some of the coaches and the tryouts and everything before our show here. Love the Michigan Jags. Big thank you to Thomas McGee's. Guys, if you haven't been to Thomas McGee's in downtown Detroit, get down there. They play every soccer game from around the world. They've got every streaming service possible. 21 and over, but all the beers down at Thomas McGee's. Big thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. If you've been injured and you need to get back on the field, hit up the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. And the Fab Football Academy. Thank you to those guys out in England. We got a little video we're going to show you a little later from the Fab Football Academy. Those are good dudes. If you've got a gap year, if you're looking to get to Europe, check out Fab Football Academy. All right, boys. Game of the week. Game of the week.
One more before.
All right, jump in.
Joseph de Vertula? I don't know how to pronounce this.
Joe, how you doing, buddy?
Sorry, Joe.
I love Joe.
Sorry, Joe.
He's a good dude.
My
What's up?
bad.
You said Joseph.
Yeah, just say Joseph. Everybody knows him.
Sorry. Okay, I didn't know this. Okay, he said, suggested for Nate, I came in like a wrecking ball by Miley Cyrus.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a strong one.
That's a strong.
I like
That's
it.
a strong
Yes.
suggestion.
Just sometimes you are just coming in like a wrecking ball.
Yes.
You know, one of these shows we're gonna have
With
to
a milkshake.
we're gonna have to each have our a little music. You know, like
Intro?
yeah,
Like our own little thing?
maybe.
Maybe we need to make a video of us with an intro video. That's update our intro video to
It
make
probably
a cooler
gets shot
intro
down
video.
because videos with music that we don't own the rights to.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Anyway, but we can dream. All right. Manchester City visiting Liverpool today. Anfield was rocking, and right from the start, that game was back and forth, but you could tell that Liverpool were knocking on that door. And sure enough, the goal came. A really, really nice ball over the top down to Mo Salah down the right-hand side. He was running at that last defender, outside of his boot to the back stick. Cody Gakpo's there, hits off his knee, it's in the back of the net. Really well-worked goal. I'm honestly surprised. I'm really surprised that went in the halftime at 1-0. Because
Oh, yeah. It could have been a lot more.
City were on their heels the entire game. It's not often we get to see Man City sit back like this and just have to take wave after wave after wave of pressure. It was unbelievable. Now, you can tell me they've got injuries. You can tell me whatever you want, but they had some of their stars on the field. They had their starting lineup that they wanted on the field. They went with Ortega as a backup goalkeeper today to change something up a little bit. You can tell me that Ederson may have had a knock or may have been out of form, whatever, but they put a backup goalie in there who did fairly well, by the way, when called upon. But Pep's looking. He's, in my opinion, right now, Pep is struggling. He can't figure this out.
No, I can't because they were getting pressed like you wouldn't believe.
Like we've never seen
It
before.
seemed like they had no solution. They had no solution to like get out of it. And it was like why not just go big to Holland? Like why not then have him just bring it down and then try to, play where the space is and then go. Like it seems like they were just they're playing these little passes that almost got turned over a bunch of times and they almost resulted in goals for
Nailed it.
Liverpool.
You
and
nailed
they were
it.
just pressing, and it's like at no point did the other team went, did City go, hey, wait a minute, here's an idea. Let's go.
Just go long. Route one to the striker.
And you got talent.
No one knows what Route 1 is anymore.
I have. I'm gonna bring this up. This is on my notes to bring up to you boys in a couple of minutes
All right.
as we're coming to the end of the segment.
You have legitimate talent just sitting on your bench. And some of these guys out there don't look like they're fit enough to do anything.
So
You got De Bruyne, Gradival sitting out there. Doku got in towards the end of the
yeah,
game.
you had Grealish on the bench as well.
I don't but no offense to Grealish because I know he's your guy.
But he's not the Grealish of 5 years ago. He's not.
But why
not,
isn't
and
he?
he's
the
never gonna
Grealish
be? Because
5 years
Pep
ago?
has
Like,
transformed
what?
him, and he's never going to be that player.
What is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is I'm looking at like serious talent bench riding here, and then you look at Pep just sitting back, like scratches all over his face, and it's like, what?
Well,
What is going on?
Look who he has on the field in the middle of the field. He's got Gundogan and Bernardo Silva. All right, so pretty lightweight guys, but ticky-tacky type guys as well. Those two guys are creative. They work hard. They should be able to beat any press that comes through the midfield from Liverpool. They were not able to do it. Liverpool were just outworking Manchester City in certain areas of the field. They were in the right spots. It looked like Arne Slot has really energized this team and given them information on where to be when the ball is in certain areas on the field and how to press. That's the difference. is his high tempo. I thought Jurgen Klopp had high tempo last year. This is high tempo on steroids. Arne Slot has them going even harder.
But some of those players, even on City, it's like Foden's soft, man.
Oh my God, yes.
Like like all I would do if I was a coach, I'd go hit him twice.
Hit him.
Hit him
Just
twice.
kick him.
He's just done.
Yep.
He's just done for the rest of the
He
day.
has got 1 assist in the last 9 games.
So soft.
He was player of the year, football player of the year last year. What has Phil Foden? Why the drop off?
But why would
Incredible.
Words don't mean anything.
Why would you?
He was a stud last year, banging in the ball and banging the ball in the back of the net.
Why would you start a struggling soft Foden over a De Bruyne? I don't care what the age is.
I agree.
But he's gonna at least grind it out against a team like that who's flying at you.
Agreed.
And it's just like the subs came too late. There was no really adjustments that I saw worthwhile at halftime. And it's just like,
Yep.
what are you doing?
So I got 2 things in this segment, but we're going to get to it at the end.
And also-
One, the banter from the fans and Pep, which was fun. And then 2, a formation change I would like to talk about from City that could be coming, in my opinion.
And also, how have you not re-signed Mo Salah to whatever that?
What is going on there?
Like, how have you
Liverpool.
Well, first thing, not only is he the highest goal scorer on Liverpool, he has the most assists on Liverpool right now. He blew by Nathan Ake like he was standing still for that first goal that he had the assist on. Just whoosh, and he did it like more than once. He just blew past him. Whoosh, like Ake couldn't do anything.
So what is Liverpool doing? Why have they not re-signed him? Because he came out in the media and said last week, he's like, they haven't put a contract in front of me.
Ake had a 2-yard head start on Mo Salah at one point, and Mo blew by him. He did. He owned. Ake should have given him his boots at the end of the game and said, "Here you go."
Yeah, Nathan Ake was stuck in cement when it came to guarding Mo Salah. Mo Salah had his way. Now, I will say, I think Mo Salah did not have a good game today. I think he missed an opportunity or 2 to score. He missed an opportunity to get another cross in, and he made the wrong decision. But the first cross that he outside of his right boot to Cody Gakpo in the back of the post, brilliant.
I mean,
Brilliant.
He had a horrible game, other than the game-winning assist and the goal and the ice game.
Yes.
Other than that,
Well, a very well taken penalty, unlike the one he took against Real Madrid at home this past week. But City are an absolute shell of a team as to what they were last year. This is the drop-off. I'm wondering right now if a lot of youth coaches are watching this going, oh, we bought into this. We bought into this last year, 2 years ago.
No, it's been longer than that. It's been like 10 years going.
Transformed our club to do this.
Yep.
And now it's not working.
Yeah.
It's not working.
That kind of sounds a lot like a lot of youth soccer, to be honest.
I'm sorry.
with you.
I'm as a youth bought into what? What am
Well-
I buying into?
Well, the MLS Next clubs for sure.
The playing out of the back, the ticky-tacky,
Yes.
hey, we're
hold
only going to play short. I'm not
Hold on.
pointing
You
out
play a lot of
one
them
or
at
2 clubs.
77.
I'm pointing out a lot of clubs.
a
Hold
lot of
the
American
phone.
clubs have. Yes.
Hold the phone.
Yes, youth soccer coach.
Just because City's crap at it doesn't mean that everyone's crap at it. Okay, I watch German teams do it like clockwork constantly.
Here's the difference.
Constantly.
Here's the difference. They do know when to go route 1.
Right.
City apparently can't remember how to do that, even with a 6'3" blonde-haired Norwegian guy up top who can jump out of the building, right? So here's where I want to come back to this. You said it. Why weren't they going over the top?
Yeah.
Why weren't they saying, listen, they're pressing 4 high. We can't get out of this. We're getting picked off every time. Why aren't they going over the top? Why are they not doing that? If you're going to do that, you can't have him isolated 1-on-3. So what do you need? You need another forward. This is where they really miss Julian Alvarez. They could have had him up there. They could be playing a solid 4-4-2. And I'm not saying because I like 4-4-2. I'm not saying it, but it is coming back into fashion. And here is where Pep needs to go. I need to go back to when I was playing on the field back in the 80s and 90s and go, put a second forward so we can go route 1. He can win the first ball, and the second ball gets picked up by the quick guy. No? Am I wrong?
Yeah, because you don't need to change your formation. You can still have your center forward, your lone striker, play off the 10 and the 7 and the 11 going forward. The 2 wide players. You can absolutely do that. Why they weren't doing it, and it's a simple connection, right? It's as simple as still play it into your 9, have the 9 drop to the 10, have your 7-11 either, coast out wide, and if you have that space, then shove it through or play it back to the double 6 pivot. So you don't need to change the formation. You need to utilize who you have. I mean, could you? Sure. Might it help? Sure. Adding an extra forward. But my thing is, why not go, even with what you have, straight to see what would happen?
Yeah, I think he may need to get rid of the double pivot 6, just have a single defensive mid in there.
Right,
we'll see. Brooks, you had something you wanted to say.
Yeah, did you not read what I post in our group text sometimes? Did
No.
you see that Brendan Rodgers thing I posted to you guys?
No.
I saw it, didn't watch it.
Ah, good job, Craig. Good
No.
job.
I also realized that was from when he was at Leicester City, which was 3 years ago. But no, I have noted it.
Yes.
Hold on, I have noted
Again,
it.
right here.
Watch it.
Brendan Rodgers on philosophy versus system. It's about having a football philosophy and not necessarily a system, so you don't get fixated on the system. Hold on a second. There we go. You don't get fixated on the system because you can play football out of any system. It's the principles of how you play.
Sure.
So, like you said, 4-4-2, but everyone thinks old school 4-4-2, but there's different principles you can play out of a 4-4-2.
They look like his idea of playing football has now become, it's backfiring. People have caught on to it. And the funny thing is, I hate to freaking say it, the same thing is happening at Aston Villa because they adopted the same philosophy. Remember Villa last year playing out of the back, in and around, dangerous areas, and then breaking, right? Just like City do. This year, it's not working.
No.
It's not working. Teams have figured out how to press and how to defend against this. They're going to have to figure something else out. It's got to go back. It's got to go over the top a little bit more. Long balls have to happen.
So Craig Beebe asked this question in our Facebook group. He was like, is it, what's going on with City? What's the deal? And I commented, listen, money only buys you success for so long, but the money is not the principle of this. Theo Epstein, who was the general manager of the Boston Red Sox and the Chicago Cubs, always said, I give myself a 10-year limit at a club. If I go any more, it's not good because eventually at some point the culture and the way you run things need to change.
It becomes stale.
It's stale.
And the ears, it becomes deaf ears.
I think it's stale at City.
I get that. It might be. Unfortunately for Pep, he's just signed up for 2 more years.
Yes or no?
I'm sure he's got an option out there to get out
I'm
of
sure
it.
there's 2
Yes,
options.
he does.
There's options both ways, right?
So they were saying this over the broadcast yes, he signed for a few more years, or 2 more years, but there are apparently his comment was, if I'm not getting what I need, then I might leave. I might not see it out. So there's an out there. I agree but disagree with you, Brooks. Here's where I disagree. In the world of soccer, that's ran different than American sports. I would, and most successful, long-term successful clubs do this. You can keep the manager. You just have to overhaul the players.
Sure.
Or a bit, if you will.
Sure.
And I do agree with the stale, but I think it might be the players that have gone.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this. Is it time for a player reset at Manchester City? The players have won numerous Premier League titles. They all won the Champions League last year, or 2 years ago, excuse me. They've won FA Cups. They've won a bunch of trophies. Is it time for a reset of players? Because now you've got older players, Gundogan, a Grealish, a De Bruyne. You've got older players. Bernardo Silva's a little older. They're into their 30s now. Is it time to bring in that younger group, that new, fresh, hungry group?
Yeah.
And that's hard to do.
I think it's everything. I think it's just you've done everything you could there.
Okay.
Like, once you do everything you can, you're trying to recreate everything you've done for the first 6 years. And when you have the same group of players, it's like, how much more can they buy into this or keep doing this, to be honest with you? You can only motivate people for so long.
We said it a couple of years ago. Are they going to be motivated? And sure enough, they won it again. And then we sent it to next year. Are they going to be motivated again? And sure enough, they won it again. This might be the end where it's just not possible to motivate them.
It's important to rotate the front office, I think.
I wholeheartedly disagree with everything you're saying.
Go for it.
Because I will use real examples.
All right.
Real Madrid, Man City, and Man United in the past. Boom. There's been other clubs who have done it, for a long time with actually keeping the front office and manager intact. But it does take fresh new players that buy into what you're doing.
Sure.
I think you have some good young players that you can build off of. You got, Doku Sevilla. I like Diquez. I like Nathan Aki. I like, Foden.
Akanji's still a good player.
Yeah,
Ruben Diaz is a
Foden.
good
Lewis
player.
is all right. Holland. So you need to fix your midfield, I think, a bit, and bring up one or two, players
Sure.
here or there.
Sure.
But I don't think it's going to be a drastic overhaul. I think you have this down year, and then you kind of reset with some players that you bring in.
Agreed. Okay.
I wouldn't get rid of Pep. Are you insane?
Yep.
Like
No,
that's insanity.
One of the best managers in the world.
That's insanity.
We got some comments?
We do. For our buddy from Charlotte.
Hey! Hold on. BX Gunner 81?
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Brooks
Bird.
pseudo identity 92.
All right, what's he got to say, man?
Right.
I agree with everything that Brooks says. How ironic, Brooks.
I know, right? Right. So here we go. A couple comments here. City had a phenomenal run, but it's the football cycle. There's also a generational divide with Pep and the new young generation. He may not have that hold that he once had on the players. All top managers fall off the perch, which he's right.
Sir Alex
cycle.
Ferguson.
Sir Alex Ferguson didn't fall off the perch.
He left on his own terms.
The Don at Real Madrid really hasn't fallen off. He's been able to get it going a couple of years. So yes and no. I think a lot of managers do. Some don't. I think Pep. I don't think Pep's going to be one of those.
I don't think Pep's one of those. I put him in that elite class.
Yeah. He is definitely.
I would 100% agree with most managers.
Mm-hmm.
Pep's one of those who is in this elite bracket up here.
But he does have to go back to the drawing board.
No, he does.
It's not working now.
No.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're all in agreement there. Listen, we can slag on Pep and Man City and the spell that they're going through right now. It's incredible. We've never seen anything like it from him and his teams he's put together.
Other comments.
We got to give credit. Good one. Well, give me a second there, Brooks. We got to give credit to Liverpool because they are in this moment the best team in the world. They just beat the current EPL champions, and in the middle of the week, they beat Real Madrid, who are obviously always one of the top teams. And not just beat them, could have beaten them 4-5-0, beat them handedly once they came out from halftime and realized that, oh shit, that Real Madrid team's not that good.
Well,
we are Liverpool.
How pissed do you think Klopp's got to be right about now? Like, damn it.
Yeah,
I don't
just
think
need to go
he's
another
mad.
year. Well, he's rolling in that Red Bull cash.
I don't think
so
he-
You think he
know.
calls Arnie Slot like on a weekly basis, like, hey, how's my team doing?
Maybe. What's those comments, Brooks?
Yeah, so if you Steve Bach goes 4-3-3 is the way to go. That's what he thinks for Man City.
Hey, Steve, you can leave you can stop watching now. Anytime.
My buddy Andre. They also he made a comment that we were talking about earlier. They look really lethargic, Man City. That's what we made earlier.
They do,
He
yeah.
also said, but he agrees that overhauling the playing staff probably will work. He's definitely not afraid to do that.
Pep isn't, we're saying?
Correct, yes,
Is that what we're saying?
Pep, yep.
Yeah, he's definitely not, but the problem is it takes a lot to overhaul playing staff. Now with financial fair play, the amount it's going to take, there's a Manchester City tax. You come in to purchase a player from my club and you're Brighton Hove Albion, he's $10 million. You're Manchester City and you want this guy? That's $25 million, please.
Hey,
That's a tax.
I mean, 110, 120 legal cases on them. What's 130?
What's a couple more?
Close a couple.
couple more.
Just,
Well, eventually one of them taking him down.
No.
Nothing's ever. I think we're all on board that nothing is ever going to
I'm
happen.
not on board with that. It's going to happen.
You don't understand how this
Nothing.
works. Yes, and all politicians are squeaky clean.
Yeah.
And rainbows. Yay!
Nothing is ever. The only way that Manchester City get found guilty, get found guilty is if they are like about to be relegated out of the league.
There are enough
like they are
people-
playing that poor that the football association go, oh, by the way, you remember that 115 charges? We found you guilty, so we're going to relegate you right now.
There are enough people that dislike Man City that will try to get them relegated. Just like any club. There are enough
yes.
people that would try to do things to destroy someone else that there is someone out there that's willing to do this.
I don't see it happening.
Listen,
I don't see it.
it's okay. We gotta level with them right now. All right. We have been around a little bit longer. We are calloused and ruined by the world. He still thinks there's justice. So just stop, because, I don't want to, it's like telling a kid there's no,
So my cartoons are wrong in the morning? There's no such thing as justice?
There's nothing to say.
it's like breaking the mythical
But Craig,
character.
you watch Bluey. There's a bunch of justice in Bluey.
I mean, I love Bluey, trust me, but it's
Come on.
wholesome, but the world is not wholesome.
I don't want to be the one who ruins the holidays for them by telling them certain things don't exist.
Don't do it.
Yeah, so, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Hey, Brooks, did the elves show up at your house? December 1st, the elves showed up at your house?
No, Santa didn't show up last year, though.
No, he didn't?
No,
That's
I
'cause
know.
You were a bad kid.
Ugh.
You were naughty last year.
My gosh.
All right, so the funny thing that happened in today's game, when it was 2-0 towards the end of the game, I think around the 85th minute or something like that, the Liverpool fans started chanting at Pep, "You're getting sacked in the morning, you're getting sacked in the morning," and Pep turned around and gave the 6, as in, I've won 6. Premier. But he was smiling. I love the banter. I love the banter from the fans. I love the banter back from Pep. Afterwards, the NBC crew, was it the two Robbies? The two Robbies are like, "Oh, there's no need for him to do that. We all know he's won it. That's classless. You don't need to do that." No, man. He was smiling. He was having fun. I'm for it. I think it was great. He was smiling even when they were laughing. Losing, excuse me.
And that was the difference between him and how Jose Mourinho did the same thing, because he was purely angry. You know what I mean? And he was just kind of smiling, I think that's the difference there. When you do something back like that, you kind of got to do it with a smile. Yeah. Otherwise, it does get to you, even if you're mad.
Now, if he was had that stern look
I will say, though, City's form is almost as worse as Villa's.
Oh, my God, yeah. I don't know who's worse right now.
Villa
Now you're just going to hurt
has
him.
2 more draws in the same time span. Outside of that, it's basically...
The difference is we drew against Juventus this past week. The old lady, Juventus, is actually a really good team and a really good club, right? We all know Juventus. Villa did well in the game. It should have won it at the end, by the way. Villa should have won. If it wasn't some punk referee who has no idea what he's doing, that Villa would have won that game at the death. Tell me I'm wrong, but Villa should have won that game. The goal was called off because of goalie interference when the goalie clearly jumps into a player. Garbage call, by the way. Villa, though, today, not good. Now, I will say the difference between this year and last year, Ollie Watkins. Last year, Ollie Watkins was putting the ball in the back of the net when he's given opportunities.
You want to sell him now?
This year, he's putting it at the goalie. He's missing. He still has those opportunities.
He wants to sell him.
Oh, I'd sell him.
We don't want him anymore.
No.
That's okay. My Seagulls are in 4th right now, so I'm okay.
So let's jump to it real quick. Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 3. It was at Stamford Bridge. Cole Palmer with an absolutely stunning 3rd goal for Chelsea. Nicholas Jackson with the first one. Should have been marked up better by Pau Torres. Enzo Fernandez with a 2nd goal, takes a missed touch, and then he finds himself open at the top of the box and a nice shot. Martinez didn't play very well, kind of gave the ball away, also got injured, coming out stretching for a ball. He didn't play in the second half, didn't matter. No one in the world was going to stop that 3rd goal from Cole Palmer. Stunning. Right now, Chelsea are, in my opinion, the 2nd best formed team in the world, right behind Liverpool. There is nothing that's going to stop Chelsea right now except for an injury or 2. Now, I had this conversation with someone online yesterday who is a big Chelsea fan, and he said, "I'm worried about injuries, and I'm worried about the lack of leadership at the club. We're all very young players. Injuries happen, a little dip in form, because you know a dip in form is coming. You're going to run into a hot Arsenal or a hot Liverpool or a hot whatever club, and you're going to lose 1, you're going to lose 2, you're going to draw a 3rd, and then where does the leadership come? Right now, that's where Chelsea are lacking. But for what they've done in the last couple of weeks, they have been sensational. And with the 403 players that they have on the bench, they can rotate players and not be too worried.
Well, you got to call them back first from their loans.
Yeah, well, they've got enough players out there. But Chelsea beat Aston Villa handedly today. I predicted 3-0. So, saw that coming. Should have just stayed in bed, to be honest. Is what it is. Let's talk about Arsenal yesterday versus West Ham at West Ham. The Bubbles, the land of bubbles, they were at West Ham. Before 35 minutes were up, it was 4-0 to Arsenal.
Wow.
Arsenal just looked incredible. Wave after wave, just like Liverpool did today to Man City, just kept coming. This could have been 6-0. And then all of a sudden, West Ham crept back in, and Arsenal went, oh, no, wait a minute. Hold on. We're going to go back down here and score again. 5-2 was the final. The second half had pretty much nothing to talk about. The only thing that was missed was a Danny Ings open net. Rounded Reyes, the Arsenal goalkeeper, and he puts it wide of the goal. Besides that, nothing to talk about from that perspective, but well done to Arsenal, who are keeping pace. We'll put up the table in a minute here. Next on the docket, Nate, I do want to talk about your team, but let's put up that table so everybody can see. As you can see, everybody, there's Liverpool flying high, 34 points. They are now 9 points above Arsenal in second place. Chelsea in third, also on 25. Brooks, your Brighton, up to fourth.
Yeah.
23. They are ahead of
German
Manchester
manager,
City.
that's why.
They're ahead of Manchester City on goal
Yeah.
difference. Goal difference right now holds Manchester City back into fifth. Nottingham Forest still up there in sixth. It's crazy. Tottenham missed a big chance against Fulham. 10-man Fulham today to gain more points. They're on 20 points at seventh. Brentford. Man United with their win today over Everton go to ninth on 19 points. Fulham 10th. Newcastle 11th, my Villa 12th on 19 points. Now, if you think about it, from second down to 12th, 6 points separates 10 teams. It's incredible. It's incredible. One win can bounce you halfway up the table. Bournemouth, West Ham, Everton, Leicester, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Ipswich, and Southampton round out the bottom. So Southampton, obviously 1 win. Ipswich 1 win. Wolves with 2 wins. They look like they could be the teams. Crystal Palace, I think, will find their way out of it. We'll see what happens. All right, Nate, let's jump in. Let's do it. Let's talk about your boys.
We're back!
Let's talk about your boys.
You turn the corner?
We're turning.
Turn in that corner.
We're back.
I want to go back the other way.
So you played in the Europa Conference
did
League
it.
game against Bodo Glimt this past week, and you won 3-2. Made tough work of it, but all of a sudden today, you look like you were the Manchester United of old. People working. It was working. People working and actually look like they're enjoying the game.
So do you understand? And I looked this up myself, and then somebody actually, I think one of the commentators actually said it. That goal margin of 4.
4-0.
4-0. 4 scores. A lead by 4, whatever you want. The last time we've led by 4 goals against a competitive team, not like third division.
Not like Bodo Glimt in the freaking...
Well, no, even them. Like, the last time, like,
Top
I'm talking,
there, Craig.
take out like the League Two,
Yeah.
English Cup teams.
Yeah.
That, we beat by 8. Any first division team in any country and any competition.
When was the last time?
2001, back when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played. When that
Holy crap.
2001?
Yes, or not 2021. Yes, we're back.
2021.
When he coached?
2021.
21.
Yes, when Ole was coaching.
Yes.
3 years.
You said played. I was like,
Not
what?
played.
Like
Sorry.
what? 23
Wow.
years?
No.
3 years.
Wow.
But the we weren't able to do that throughout the whole era at all. You have to go all the way back to when Ole was the coach, and I believe
It was after Ole? Jose?
No.
No.
Wait.
Ten Hag was after
Ten Hag.
Ole?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Was it Ragnick? Ragnick came in for a couple of months.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
And then Erik Ten Hag came in.
You have to go all the way back then, and I want to say it was the first match I came across. It was they played Leeds Premier League, and they pumped in. I think it was like 5-1. That's the first since then. First time we've led by 4, and then actually going back
3 years.
There was several other games
Wow.
under his era where we led by 4 too. So it's been dismal, I think, and that's why you saw the crowd so excited. I get it's Everton, but we haven't been able to put a scoring entertainment performance like that in a long time.
So let's quickly talk about some of the differences that I saw. Okay, Marcus
By the way,
Rashford.
they are playing out of the back in a 3-back form.
in a 3-back. Now
Wonderful.
I want to see what they do on Wednesday against Arsenal.
Yeah,
tell you what
that's what our BX Gunner guy just said.
Yeah,
Big
that's
game
gonna
on
be
Wednesday.
that's gonna be the real test.
I'm going to tell you exactly what they're going to do.
Play out of the back with a 3-back
Yes.
system. I mean, I respect it because that's what Amarin does.
That's
his system. That's what he sticks with. Win, lose, or draw. That's what he sticks with, and that's where he's gotten. That's how he's gotten to where he is.
And for
Good.
now,
Agreed.
I think that's what he's hammering. He wants everyone just learning and developing and playing that system.
So this is where the conversation we had earlier about systems formations and all that good stuff. I don't care what system, what formation Manchester United have changed to, have gone to, whatever. It's more about the players.
Yeah.
They are working hard. I mean, Diallo today, are you kidding me?
Looked unstoppable.
Looked unstoppable. Bruno Fernandes looks like he wants to get round and play. Marcus Rashford? We haven't seen you in 3 years, kid. And now all of a sudden he shows up. Like,
Because
that was him working today to get up the field to score easy goals.
that's what he's hammering, this transition, like quick transition.
That's what it
fast
is.
Transition. That's what apparently they're hammering constantly.
And that
in
requires
training.
work.
Yeah. And so if you can't do that, then you're not playing.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Right. Absolutely.
It's if you can't transition quickly in the attack, you're not playing. And that's almost all the goals that have happened under his watch have been quick transitions and going forward.
Yeah, no. So, listen, I am not on the Manchester United are back bandwagon. Woo! No,
I don't think you
not
ever
yet.
are.
I'm never on that bandwagon.
No.
They're going to keep turning
Let's
that
be
corner.
honest,
we can
Greg.
only hope, right?
Yes.
Like a NASCAR
Right back
race.
where they started.
You're on the
Right back where
turn.
they started.
You're on the turn the corner bandwagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
today is the first game I've tuned into and watched and said, okay, all right, the players look like they're actually willing to work and actually willing to have fun out here to get a result and to work for their teammates. It's been a while. So, I mean, we'll obviously follow along. We'll see where this goes. It couldn't get any worse, could it? On the field, on the field perspective, it could not have gotten any worse.
No.
It could not have. We got a lot of other stuff I want to get to. We got a couple of things here, though. I got to find my little clip. Sorry, but we got a couple of other things we can get to. We're going to talk about Fiorentina player going down. Unfortunately, not good news there. We're going to talk about MLS because we got a final coming up, Brooks. We got a final coming up if you knew it. And then we got a lot of other things to get to right after this. All right, listen, unfortunately, this has become a trend. It looks like it's happening about once or twice a year now. It happened again today. Unfortunately, a player went down on the field in the 16th minute of the game. The incident was Fiorentina's Edoardo Bove in a coma after collapsing versus Inter Milan in the Serie A today. The incident happened in the 16th minute of the match with the play stopped following a VAR check. Bove apparently bent down to tie the laces on his boots before he suddenly dropped to the ground. Stunned. Everybody was kind of stunned in the stadium and on the field. Players were seen visibly shaking and crying. They brought him back, got him onto a stretcher and got him on an ambulance. And as he was leaving, they said he regained consciousness. He was breathing on his own. Once they got him to the hospital, though, they put him into a chemically induced coma. They're going to let that keep going for another 24 hours and then reassess tomorrow. So what we know is looks like there was heart issues that happened with Edoardo Bove today. He passed out. They brought him back. He was breathing on his own, and now they've put him into a medically induced coma. So, I hate to say the whole thoughts and prayers thing, but man, we just hate to see another player go down like this, and hopefully he makes it out and can pull a Christian Eriksen, come back, play, and be stronger for it. This had happened, 10 years ago. Who knows? He may not have made it, but due to the medical devices and staff that have been trained, luckily he was able to be saved. So, good news there. All right, one of the games I watched yesterday, I took time out. Apparently there was a football game that happened here in the state of Michigan that I paid absolutely no attention to, and I was probably one of the only people who tuned in and around my area to watch the Klassiker. I definitely was watching BVB versus Bayern Munich. What a game. We had some discussions in the group text about it. I'm all for it. I was enthralled. I had a discussion a couple of days ago with someone who's like, I just can't get into the Bundesliga. And I was like, man, you just got to watch certain games. And this was one of those games. So, Nate, it is time for Bundesliga chat time.
But it's not late at night and someone cares. It's weird and it's Bundesliga chat time with Crate and Brooks.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do all of them, or do you want me just to focus on that? Because St. Pauli actually won against Holstein Kiel.
Oh, wow.
They won a game.
They won
They won a game.
I think their second win.
That's their third win, actually.
Third
Sorry
win,
about that.
They just don't win often.
Yeah.
They don't win often. They don't score often. They won a game against Holstein Kiel, who won one game.
Ooh.
Bochum's still waiting to win.
Ooh.
Yeah, Bochum's the one.
Any day now.
Any day. Any week. All right.
And then obviously we'll just skip right to the game of the week. Stuttgart versus Werder Bremen. Everyone wanted that one, right? Stuttgart, who watched that game, huh? Stuttgart versus Bremen. I wanted.
Was that 2-2?
Yeah, it's 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah.
Good-
Nate cries.
good game.
Because Bremen scored in the beginning, and I went. And then we came back and scored, and I was like, yeah! And then Bremen scored again, and I was like,
And then you scored again.
and then we scored,
why
and
you
I
were
was like,
sad?
yeah. I'm actually worried about the head coach. Actually, I'm not. With that tie, we're close. I mean, we're 3 points out of it, so hopefully. But they're dropping like flies in the Champions League, and I can tell you what, it's not looking good. So I hope they continue doing well, because I like the head coach, and I think he's doing a good job there. I think he's just had some rough patches. I mean, they almost beat Frankfurt a couple weeks ago, who's sitting number 2, who is on fire.
Yeah, by the way, Frankfurt up there is nothing
Yeah.
anybody expected, right? That's
They're this
where
year's
they come
Leverkusen.
from.
And
Yes.
actually, Momar Marmouche, who's just lighting everyone on fire, is right behind Harry.
You said that with such confidence. I'm like, wow, Brooks
Right
really
behind-
knows Omar Mamouche.
You got a cool name.
Well,
Yeah.
I know him so well because he used to be at Frankfurt, or he used to be at Stuttgart. Yeah, we didn't buy him, but yeah, they're
He's the Marmushin.
they're lighting teams on fire up there, and hopefully they keep on track, because we need them to. Therefore, Munich can't win. And then before we get to the main matches, just running through Freiburg versus Gladbach. Scully played a full. Joseph Scully played a full 90 minutes for
U.S. men's
Gladbach.
national team player.
Yes.
Yeah.
He also completed the most dribbles in the match. Gladbach lost 3-1 to Freiburg
Berlin.
there. Union Berlin came out early and scored. Ended up losing against Leverkusen. Kind of thank God, because I want Leverkusen to do well, just to put heat on Munich. PFOC unfortunately did not play that game.
Interesting.
Like we said, Frankfurt roasted Heidelheim 4-0 early. Marloni played 55 minutes in that match. It was kind of uneventful. I had to get subbed. And then on to the last one before we get on to the big show. Leipzig decided that they weren't going to play this weekend against Wolfsburg.
Yeah, what the hell
and got
was that?
pounded 1-5.
What the hell was that? Didn't see that
The
coming.
rumor is Marco Reus might be on the outs, which is the head coach there. Their technical.
Not Marco Royce. Marco Royce is the player.
Marco Rosal, sorry.
Yeah, so I was going to say.
And the way you know Nate
I
pronounces his
get it.
name.
Oh,
Royce is over in L.A. now.
Royce,
All
Royce, R-O-S-E, whatever.
Royce.
Marco, still okay. Come
Yeah.
on. But their technical director's already left.
Oh.
He's already went to Salzburg. So he went. Good luck with that. And so
Jurgen Klopp's going to have his hands full when he comes in with all the RB teams needing,
I don't know,
directors and coaches.
So Leipzig is a team that has spent a lot, has always spent a lot. It's one of the staples of the RB group, if you will. That's, I don't want to say the point of the spear, but pretty darn close.
Yep.
And they normally do very well in the Champions League, and they have not won a game. They're 5 losses.
Wow.
They normally do well in the league, and right now they are sitting 4th and plummeting really hard. So
here's your Bundesliga table, there, Nate. Yep.
Yeah, it's not looking good for RB Leipzig. They did really well at the start of the season and have been just
Red Bull's not giving them wings.
No,
definitely
they have no
wings. There is your table after this week. I know we're going to get to the last game to talk about there, but Bayern still sit up top by 4 points. Frankfurt, they're holding tight in second. Leverkusen in third on 23. Leipzig in fourth. Borussia Dortmund in fifth. There's your Stuttgart down in ninth. And down the bottom of the table, as we talked about, Bochum, no wins, 2 draws, 10 losses, 2 points. Bochum and Kiel look like they gone. And then Heidenheim. We'll get into the playoff, which we all love at the end of the
Love
year.
that playoff. Hopefully St. Pauli stays up. On to the main event.
Yeah, man. Yeah, what a game. I enjoyed it.
Dortmund versus Munich. I'll tell you what, when Vladimir Anton, who is the center back, went out with injury, and I know him because he came from Stuttgart, just like Shadow Glycerin, just like Kobel. So 3, if you will, former Stuttgart players playing for Dortmund, jerks. When he went out and they had to play with his soul, I was like, oh man, it's not gonna be good because he is bad. He is slow. But they held their own. I mean, they really did. I think, Munich came out with shelling them a bit, but
I thought in the first 20 minutes Munich dominated, right? I predicted it was coming. There was a goal coming, and they were peppering. They just weren't getting onto the end of that final ball, that final cross. Weren't able to get that shot on target. And then Dortmund just decided we're going to break down the left side.
Yeah,
with Gittins.
Gittins just made Lamar looked like he was standing still as he passed him.
I mean, he's quick.
That's
He's
where I said
quick.
that's why you never. So you sold 2 players to United. Thank you very much. Mazzari, who would have been playing that right hand side, definitely could have ran pace with them. And Kim, the center back for Munich, after Lamar needed help, decided to run to and high five the goalkeeper. I don't know where he was running to. But I can tell you what, Matthias de Ligt's in there.
He doesn't do that.
He doesn't do that. He probably actually would draw a foul, missing the ball. I'm not saying he would have cleanly tackled him, but de Ligt would have drawn a foul going in on a player like that versus letting him go.
The goal. So if nobody saw the goal, what happened was Gittins runs past his defender on the left-hand side at about midfield. I mean, like almost on the touch line, almost all the way on the side.
He was at half.
Yeah,
it was at half. Schlotterbeck was the guy who gave him the ball, and he was a center back.
And he's running straight from the halfway line all the way on the side, almost out of bounds, straight towards the goal. And Kim, the center back for Bayern Munich, decides, I'm going to stick with Sabitzer here. I'm going to run straight towards the goal but hold back, and I'm going to mark Sabitzer because it looks like that's what he was being told. You go where Sabitzer goes. And that's not the right play. Unfortunately, at the time, you have to let that man go because right now what was happening is Gittins went straight to goal and had a free shot. He ran 70 yards without encountering a defender.
Yep.
It's incredible.
Yep.
You've got to at least, as a center back, you got to go, I have to go to this man. And Gittins went straight. Now, we had this discussion. I don't want to put a lot of the blame at first, from first glance, I said, what the hell is Manuel Neuer doing, right? I think he should have come out. But I think he was thinking Kim was going to come in and cut him off a little bit.
But Kendo was nowhere to be found either.
No.
McKenna was off in like La La Land. And these are the 2 guys that you said you're going to keep, and you're going to sell Matthias de Ligt. Smart move, Munich.
It made no sense, and it was a great finish by Gittins, who went up and over Manuel Neuer's left shoulder into the far corner of the goal. And what a goal it was, 1-1. 1-0 to Dortmund. So some suspect defending right there. just suspect.
Suspect is underrated for what that was. And, yeah, Munich, I think, went in trouble as soon as Harry Kane went down. I can tell you that is what won or tied the game for Dortmund, because there's many balls in that box that I kept sitting there going, if Kane was in there, he's on the other end of that.
He would have put his head, put a toe in, would have found a way to create space and get on the end of a lot of those crosses. And that's what the team is built for, by the way. The team is built for to cross balls like that, right?
Yes.
Get Olise, get Musiala crossing the ball in. Kane limped off the field. We don't know. Was it his ankle injury again? It's flared up again.
I think he was holding the hamstrings.
Was it a hammy?
There's no official report for how long he's going to be out, but here's the struggle that Munich's going to have. So the Pokal kicks off again this week.
Whoop.
And on Tuesday, they're playing Leverkusen, and he's already ruled out. He's not playing.
Oh, my.
He's
so
out. They've already ruled him out.
So it looks like it could be you either win the Bundesliga or no trophy again.
Well, no, because they're all right in the Champions League, I think. They're middle of the table there.
Yeah, they are. They are, but Champions League, right? It's Champions League.
Yeah, Champions.
But anyway, so the game ended 1-1. Overall, it was a great game. I think it was a great advert for the Bundesliga. I highly encourage next time this game happens, the Der Klassiker, as they call it, which is essentially the El Clasico of the Bundesliga. Probably the top two of the top four teams, we'll say, going at it, and they go at it pretty good. So, 1-1. What a great game.
There are many great Bundesliga matches, and if you look at the table, Dortmund, Champions League table, Dortmund's 4th, Munich's 13th. These teams are holding their own against the world's best. Stuttgart's, we don't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably out. Leipzig is definitely out. So.
Well, that's all right. All right, Nate, is that going to wrap us up for Bundesliga chat time today?
That's all I got.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I like it. We're going to talk a couple other things. We got to talk MLS right after this. I'm Craig Hearn. Today, I'm here with the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. He's going to show me some simple exercises and stretches to do before my soccer games. Because to be honest, I'm getting a little older and I need to be better prepared for these games. All right, he's got some stuff he's going to show us. Let's jump in.
What's up, guys? Dr. Zach here with Craig. We're going through a dynamic warm-up here. Super important, especially in this age group as we get older. A lot of guys that I see, they go right from their car and straight to the field without any warm-up. We want to make sure that we're getting the body warm, we're getting loose, we get the heart rate up so that we can help reduce injuries. All right, guys, so I've got Craig currently doing some grass sweeps. He's doing a Frankenstein stretch, and he's also going through some pogos right now. Whoa, Craig, what the hell?
Yep. Sorry, Doc.
All this newfangled dynamic warm-up, this and that. What's wrong with my old warm-up? Oh, yeah, the doc was right. Definitely need the new warm-up. Oh, good Lord. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we're coming down to it, the final game of the MLS season. It's next Saturday. Let's put up that bracket so you can see who be playing. We got in the final game LA Galaxy versus New York Red Bull. So LA Galaxy beat Seattle this past week 1-0. The LA is a second-ranked team. They beat the Seattle fourth-ranked team, and on the Eastern Conference side, Red Bull New York won over Orlando City 0. Brooks, LA versus New York. They could not have written this any better, right? This is what they wanted.
Oh, besides Miami.
Besides Miami and Messi,
Yeah.
but once he was out, this is it.
Yeah, one of the New York teams definitely. Listen, Red Bull hunting for their first ever MLS Cup. Fun fact here, Eastern Conference. So there's only 3 teams in MLS history since we've shifted around conferences and teams have moved around a lot. That teams have won the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. New York Red Bull will be one of them. Colorado Rapids and the Chicago Fire. So there's some fun facts, MLS facts for people. Listen, Red Bull, I think Forsberg's been a great addition for him. Lewis Morgan's been terrific for them this year. And again, you have a Red Bull team playing, two college players, Nealis and the Nealis brothers in the back, and then Peter Stroud, who played at Colgate, and Tolkien's academy kid, Daniel Edelman's academy kid, and they've just kind of meshed guys in, and that's what Red Bull do. It's
to get the job done somehow. Yeah. And breaking news today: Ricky Puig for the LA Galaxy unfortunately tore his ACL in that game against Seattle, and he played for an additional 30 minutes on a knee that had a torn ACL in it.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
He had an assist in that game. I think the game-winning assist.
Yeah.
I've seen people tear ACLs and do knees in games. I've never seen them play for an additional 30 minutes in a professional game like that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
So very impressive, but unfortunately for the kid, he's out.
Yeah.
Now it looks like he may miss the next 6 months, so we'll see if he's available at the start of the upcoming season. But he's going to miss the MLS championship.
I mean, listen, you have, you could put Diego Fagundes in there, in Puig's role, or you can slot in, Marquis Delgado. I mean, listen, I think the Galaxy will be fine. He has been their playmaker, no doubt about that. It's a difficult one to lose. But again, kind of the LA Galaxy and Greg Vanney just kind of mixing up. I mean, McCarthy, the domestic American, John Nelson, the player from former UNC outside back, and Edwin Cerrillo, the former FC Dallas Academy kid, just kind of mixing those guys in there. And then with the internationals they've got, and Marco Royce picking up in the middle of the season, and Jovic has been off and on, but when he scores big goals, and that was a big goal he scored to put them up 1-0, and listen, Seattle Sounders doing what the Seattle Sounders do, just making a run in the playoff time, and just unfortunate that they couldn't finish and get the result. But this will be an interesting one. It's a team of Latin internationals and some domestics and a couple stars versus a Red Bull team with Forsberg and I don't know, kind of his kids, I guess, or something. If you want to roll it like that, just kind of like, he's the oldest one, leading the pack. But it's
all right. Well,
Red Bull are hard-nosed guys.
Give me a Brooks. Who's winning Saturday? I think it's a 4:00 kickoff. I don't even know what channel it's on. We'll have to look for that. We'll post it, but I believe it's a 4:00 kickoff on Saturday. Who's winning? Is it LA or is it New York? And by the way, this is on Apple TV and free on Fox and Fox Deportes.
There you go.
So, who's winning here? Is it LA taking it?
I would say with the Galaxy, it was probably a for sure win if Ricky Puig was still playing, just with the way he's been playing this year. But I think it's going to be rather close. This is a long time since LA Galaxy have been in the final, because it's been the LAFC that's been ruling LA for the past, since they've come in as an expansion team. So I'm going to go with Red Bull's going to win their first MLS Cup. I think they do it.
Okay,
I think they do. I think Forsberg and those guys find a way. They grit it out. They don't play the most attractive soccer, but it's very grueling sometimes with the direct soccer they play. And, we'll see if the young kids, if they come through, I hope they don't choke. And I think Red Bull can win.
Where's this game being played, my friend? Is this at
who's the higher seed?
LA's the higher seed.
So it's going to be in LA.
So if this game's in LA, I'm picking LA to win this game.
Okay.
I got LA. You got New York. Tiebreaker falls to Nate. Who you got?
Well, I did a deep analysis of this, and I've studied a lot of film between both teams, and
I figured you would have.
And there's one determining factor that's going to pull a certain team clearly past. I have to agree with Brooks. Not for any of the reasons he listed.
Thank you.
For only one reason.
You always do this.
One reason and only one reason only. What's that coach's name at Red Bulls, Brooks?
Oh, man.
I can tell you.
Who's there now? Yeah.
Sandro. Now, before I finish it,
you're
like, that sounds Latin-y. And I thought that too. And then I looked.
He's German, isn't he?
Schwartz.
Yeah.
German.
Not going to root for Forsberg.
It's coming home! New York Red Bulls, baby, because they got the German coach. Here we go!
The former Bundesliga player in Forsberg.
Here we go. 3-4-1-2 formation, playing out the back, just like the Germans. Here we go. Wingbacks all over.
All right.
You're going to love it.
All right. Well, that's we'll see if that happens. All right. Tune in on Saturday at 4 o'clock. Game is in L.A. It's on Apple TV and Fox Deportes. All right. A couple of more pieces of news here. All right. I wanted to bring you this. Fans of German side FC Carl Zeiss Jena. I don't know. And BSG Chemie Leipzig clashed after a fourth-tier match, which resulted in 79 injuries. The clubs said on Saturday. After Saturday's game, physical altercations between two fan groups behind the stands prompted police intervention and resulted in the use of pepper spray. 10 police officers and 5 security staff were injured, unfortunately. After the match, which Jena won 5-0, the club said a large group of visiting fans from Leipzig violently broke through the buffer area to gain access to the stand containing home fans. That's a lot of injuries, man. And when you start saying staff and police are injured, that's not a good thing. So people could be in big trouble there in Germany.
Lots of violence in sports this past weekend between
know,
college
man.
football and everything else.
I know, it's bizarre, right?
Yeah.
All the flag stuff at the I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I don't get that whole
Kind of
thing.
stupid. Just walk off.
I know.
You won the game.
Yeah, be done with it. All right, last thing we'll talk about is USA versus England. USA went to Wembley Stadium in England to play against England, the women's national teams. 85,000 people showed up for this game. Incredible. Ended 0-0. Alyssa Nair, USA goalkeeper, was her final game. She is retiring, so quite the send-off for her. But by all accounts, not exactly the most entertaining of games. So that's unfortunate. It's always nice to see entertaining games when 85,000 people show up and it's on national television, but wasn't to be. But a great send-off for Alyssa Nair, who leaves the U.S. women's national team and is officially retiring. So good to see 85,000 people showing up at a women's game, though, right?
Yeah, that is nice.
Those are some great numbers there. So, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you joining us today. That's all we got from me and the boys. We want to say a big thank you. Listen, a big thank you to our partners, a big thank you to Soccer World, a big thank you to Next Level Training, a big thank you to the Michigan Jaguars, a big thank you to Thomas McGee's in downtown Detroit, and a big thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. And final thank you to the Fab Football Academy located in England. Look all of our friends and sponsors up there for more information. Appreciate you. Do us a huge favor. Give us a like, give us a subscription, give us a share, no matter what platform you're watching and listening to this from. We'd very much appreciate it. And if you're on Apple Podcasts listening to us, give us 5 stars and leave a funny comment. We'll try to read it off next week. And until next week, that will bid us adieu. So thank you again. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.